He's ex-CII chairman from Trichy, and his company Jothi Mallables, which is having close to 50 years of engineering expertise, and they are into manufacturing of iron castings from Trichy, which is very rare.
1999 I started coming in, so everyone was father's person. So they used to see me as a kind of kid. So for me to come and command them, they will not listen. Then you had to go and prove it that they didn't believe me. One particular time I made a trial and made it as a zero reaction. Then they started looking at me, okay, this fellow knows something. Regarding talent, I don't hire in between. I hire only the basic people from colleges actually.
Okay.
And they stay with me and they grow with me.
So you don't hire experienced one?
I don't hire experience. More of a naturalist actually.
Okay.
Even though I'm a foundry, I like to plant trees. In our state, I ask my people to plant 10,000 trees.
Hi sir.
Hello.
Thank you for the opportunity for us. So being one of the topmost entrepreneurs from tier 2 city like Trichy, Frigate is happy to host you here.
Thank you.
Okay. So to start with, I just love the term making commitments work. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So before going further, I just wanted to introduce Mr. 𝗙𝗂 Ramaswamy sir. So he's just ex-CII chairman from Trichy, and yes, his company Jothi Mallables, which is having close to 50 years of engineering expertise, and they are into manufacturing of iron castings from Trichy, which is very rare. So happy to have you here, sir.
Thank you.
So making commitments work. So I really impressed on that. So why that, sir?
See, I am a person, we come from a community called Chettiar.
Okay.
See, Chettiar community, what we call 𝗧𝗺 ரொம்ப முக்கியம். Doesn't matter whether we write it and give it or something. If we say something, it has to be honored. There's no second guess on it. அதாவது என் டாக்டர் சொல்லுவார், நீ வார்த்தையை கொடுத்துட்டேன்னு சொல்லாதுப்பா. But anyway, I felt that if there's a commitment we give to a customer, whether it's on writing or supply, anything writing, not written, non-written, oral, verbal, anything, it has to be honored. So I brought that culture into the organization. Told the guys, in fact, my father used to say, சொல்வதை செய்வதை சொல்லுன்பாங்க. So I built up on that. I told them, whatever commitment you make, you honor it. So we have a lot of fight with the customers at the beginning of the month. They want our commitment. Now we fight saying that this is possible, is not possible. Then they used to say, நீ கமிட்மெண்ட் கொடுத்தா ஹானர் பண்ணிடுவா, உன்னை கமிட்மெண்ட் வாங்குறது தான் கஷ்டம்னாங்க. So we have built up that expertise and we thought, okay, that's a good tagline to work on. So that when you are looking at the export in a big way, commitments really matter.
Yes.
If you want to say, we want to ship it on this particular date, it has to be shipped on that particular date, no excuses.
Yes, understand. So I guess Jothi Mallables has started way back in 1973.
Yes.
So started by your father,
Yes.
R&P sir. So just a gist of why Trichy and why he has started casting in Trichy and how it started, sir.
Actually, he studied in Trichy in 𝗙cie SIT.
Okay.
So he was the best outgoing student, and he joined in 𝗙cie Industries Vadalur. They used to have a plant in Vadalur where they had an insulator company. So he joined in the foundry. The foundry was just started.
Where, sir? Where it was?
In Vadalur.
Vadalur.
About 150 kilometers from here. So he started. He was one of the earliest employees in the foundry.
Is it near Pandruti?
Pandruti on the side of it. So first start பண்ணும்போது he was one of the join and he became the foundry manager in 12 years. He was there for 14 years. He used to call it Vanavasam. So till 14 years he was there in that.
He was a diploma mechanical engineer.
He was ITA.
Oh, okay.
He was ITA mechanical. So he joined and he used to read a lot. He used to go to Chennai, go to American library, British library. He used to read a lot and he has to develop it. At the time, foundry was not so famous in Trichy. So more about it was about say reduction, maybe import substitution was happening more. So we developed a lot of castings for Brakes India, everything. And around 14 years, till 14 years he was there. And then at one point of time he said, because we are from Chettiar community, I have 4 sisters, elder sisters. And in Chettiar community, getting a marriage is a very big expensive affair. Then he said, if I keep on working, I can't spend lavishly on the marriage. So he said, I have to start something out. So that's why he started, 1973, he started this company. We started manufacturing in 1975, but the company was started in 1973. So why Trichy is because we are from Chettinad, so it was about 90 kilometers from here, our native place. And Chennai and Bangalore are just overnight journey. So it all suited well in Trichy. Like if there's any customer complaint, you just take a night train, and the next day morning the people will be there in the customer's place to attend any issues if there. So that is how it really started Trichy. So actually it started as and at that point of time Brakes India helped us actually. Brakes India at 1973 they invested 6 lakhs rupees with us.
Oh, okay.
As a share capital. At that time 6 lakh was a huge amount actually. So the Brakes India, you used to have 2 MDs, one Mr. Ramasamy, one Mr. 𝗙𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗵𝗵. Ramasamy used to be a director till 1984 in our company. He used to be a director.
Okay.
So
is it as an independent director?
As an independent director, he was there. And then after that, there was some restriction on the number of companies a director can be in the board. So he resigned. Till that time, he was there. So we were associated with Brakes India from the beginning. So maybe Brakes India was one of our earliest
customer and
believer, I will say.
Understand. So that's great. So there are lots of these set of companies in Trichy, in Tamil Nadu especially, to promote these kind of SMEs to start with in the earlys, right? So, what was the company name, sir, in model? If you don't mind, you can say.
Jothi Mallables, actually, Jothi was from, there used to be Vadalur, that's one Jothi Swamigal, right?
Yes.
And the Anaya Adapan Sulanga, the Adapa 300 years, Anayave, so he was very influenced by him.
Okay.
So, Mallable was supposed to be metal.
Okay.
We now stopped manufacturing Mallable iron. So it is called Jothi Mallables Private Limited. That's how the name started actually.
Okay, sir. So you initially started with iron castings.
And Mallable iron, mostly Mallable iron, some amount of grey iron.
So it's more of disc.
More of insulators. Because that was the field he came in, so that was what he was experienced in.
Okay.
So we started with the insulator and some amount of Brakes India castings we started.
Okay, so out of curiosity again, so it was 1973 and it is right now almost 52 years. So how you see that? So as a casting veteran, so how you see that the industry is growing?
Today industry has changed. It was not when we started, maybe when my father started, it was very backward kind of industry where even up to say 2000 it was a kind of backward industry where foundry means dust pollution and people don't like to work. It's tough environment to work. All this happened. Okay, even 2010 also it was still that time. But nowadays the foundries are changing because of the advent of high pressure line and other things. The foundries are becoming neater and more advanced.
Especially the companies like 𝗙sze.
𝗙sze has changed the way it is. Earlier 𝗙sze used to be a kind of dream for most Indian industries. Having high pressure line is a thing that you achieved in something. But today any foundry, almost all the foundries have started going for high pressure line. And things are improving, we are able to attract good manpower.
Okay, understand. Okay, so coming back to the environmental, because casting is all about heating something and pollution. So the common audience will look like that, right? So how you see that and how that environmentally it has improved from those ages to right now?
See, it depends on the technology. We, from the beginning, as a foundry, we were very clear that we will not go for cupola. Cupola was one of the most polluting things where you have coal to be charged and fired up and the metal has to be melted. From the day one, we have not gone for a cupola. We have been into electrical melting from the beginning. So electrical melting is more or less fumes. It's only the fumes which are the impurities there in the metal that is actually comes out from. In fact, I would say the other way around. We save the environment a lot because we take all the other industry scrap and make it into a kind of useful product.
Okay.
So that way one way. And again, mostly we use green sand molding. Green sand molding basically it has sand with a little bit of clay, that is we call it bentonite, and coal dust to get the finish. These are three which is mixed and then molded. And we have some resin cores for the core, but that is a very less percentage compared to the sand. So, and that is being recirculated. Around 98% getting recirculated. Only 2% is being added every cycle. Yeah. So exactly it is not so much. And that sand is not actually harmful in the sense that we use it in our fields to have a groundnut. We grow groundnut, a lot of things in the sand. It is very good for that thing because it has clay, it retains moisture. And since it's just clay, coal dust and sand, it doesn't have any harmful chemicals in it. So that way it is good for the environment. And secondly is it is used in the road fills, like in the road construction. We use it for concrete flooring in our shop floor actually. The strength is better than normal sand because it has some bentonite clay in it. So we have tested it. We make some hollow bricks with for whatever internal things, we use our own sand. In fact, the metallic slag actually is also very useful in the sense that metallic slag is very thick. So we grind it, make it a kind of pebbles. So instead of pebbles, we use that metallic ash and use the green sand. We use only the rods and the cement. We buy it actually, the flooring.
Oh,
so most of our flooring is based on our material. So it's quite.
So it's more of a complete sustainable story. You start with sustainability and then you end with sustainability. So there is no more wastage. In fact,
if the government is building, there are tests for the road laying. It's very good backup material.
Oh, okay.
It will not, the stand will be harder, and with the metallic piece in it, it's actually good. In Europe, a lot of people use it. In a lot of Southeast countries, they use it.
Oh.
But in here, it's not yet gone in a big way.
Okay.
If the government is able to identify that and then push it, there are technologies. Then the problem, like what happened with the fly ash. Fly ash, about 15 years back, nobody wanted it. Today, fly ash is hot commodity.
Exactly.
So that way, similar things can happen for this also.
Maybe it may be used as a raw material for lots of construction.
Yes.
Right.
Actually, it's used in a lot of countries. It's used in the slags powder is used in the crackers also.
Oh. Okay.
They take it, the short blasting grinding dust. They take it for crackers, and they buy it and go. It's not that we are just throwing it away.
Oh, okay.
They pay something from us and then take it.
Okay. To 𝗧𝗺𝗺𝗍.
𝗧𝗺𝗺𝗍, yes.
Oh, okay. It's very interesting kind of point of view from my perspective, because this is the first time I am hearing something like this. So thanks a lot for that insight, sir. So I know that you are from second gen entrepreneur, right, sir? So how difficult it is, because being that second gen, like following a value from your dad, and because you might have different value, different mindset, different culture, you might have brought up, right? So how you align with it and how you been because I guess you never worked, right? You directly.
No, I had some training for a year. I have been in FIRD, but exactly not working.
Okay.
I didn't have the luxury in sense I would allow to work actually, but my father being little aged, so I had to rush and take over the company. So actually I had a luxury of only 1 year. So I've been with my customers 3-4 months in different customers and came back. Actually, I didn't give it to my daughter. I made sure that she worked for 2 years in Deloitte, and she's gone abroad to say, I knew that. The second generation is the most toughest. Actually, first generation, of course, they have their own set of issues where they have to build that company from scratch, and the attitude will be different for a first gen entrepreneur in the sense like he is used to doing all the things himself. He doesn't delegate much actually. If you see in the first gen entrepreneur, it's like now it's okay because now there are a lot of startup cultures there. But when my father started, a lot of people who worked with them came to the company. So there was always a kind of hidden pressure, like he worked with us, now he's the owner of the company. Those kind of things happen. Second generation, where we are really not very rich, at the same time we also have to build the company up. So most of the companies fail in the second generation. Either they grow up or they fail in the second. So because since that we started with a kind of upper middle class background, and then we have gone to become a richer background. So, and thing is, we have to see that our kids have that kind of grownness, because we have the grownness, because our parents have taught us how to behave. And even if I started shouting at one point of time at some young, they'll call me, see, this is the elder one, you should not talk like this. This is how you should talk. So that has been, so we have to give the same kind of learning to our children. But again, they are grown in a totally different environment compared to us.
Exactly.
So they are born into a kind of richer family. So for them to feel that hardship and then learn it, and the way they think will be totally different. See, we have seen our fathers struggle for maybe 1 lakh of rupees. So whereas we can make 1 crore of rupees. For them, in the third generation, for them, crore itself is nothing.
Exactly.
So we have to, it's very difficult to mold them. So we have to grow the company to a particular point and see that we give a kind of professional setup. See, what we inherent will be not a professional setup, a second generation. It will be based on the personal relationship the first generation had with the employees. You have to take that, then trim it actually. You have to change the person so that make it more professional and hand it over to the third generation as a kind of professional setup.
Yeah, you have to get those difficult conversations. You have to go for hard choices. So when it happened, sir?
It happens. See, initially, when I took over, all of my subordinates were daddy's people.
Okay.
I will put it.
So when in 96, I guess?
99, I started coming in. So everyone was father's person. So they used to see me as a kind of kid. So so for me to come and command them, they will not listen.
And again, it's ever lasted manufacturing industry. The mindset is.
I know that I already done it. This not work. That's how it happens. Then you have to really double the work. In fact, I used to stand in the shop floor for 8 hours. Then note on all the points and come and ask my father what will happen like this. Whether they are saying this is like this. No. This can be done, but they are saying that. So you have to learn it on the job. Yes. Then you have to go and prove it that.
Exactly.
In fact, we used to have 20% rejections. I told them that rejection need not come. They didn't believe me. One particular time I made a trial and made it as a 0 rejection. Then they started looking at me. Okay, this fellow knows something. So then only they start giving you that kind of respect of what you want. And then again, you have to build up your own team. Once those team goes out, you have to bring your own team, you have to professionalize. But you should not make the same mistake your father did.
Exactly.
You should be a MD only.
Yeah.
Then only your children, when they come in, they can easily take over.
Yeah.
Because the first generation always hands-on, they go into what is the problem, they'll go and hands the problem. But even though I may know the solution, sometimes I don't go into details.
Understand.
Even though I know the solution, I know this is not right, but I give them the space to make the mistake.
Okay. Then come out of that.
I have policy. Don't repeat a mistake.
Yes,
I have seen it in Ayyappan Koil. They have that don't repeat a mistake. Somehow it got clicked to me. So I tell them, you make new mistakes, but don't repeat the same mistake again. Okay. So that's why they learn. And once they start learning, then automatically it becomes more professional. They take their own decisions.
Understand. So coming back to, again, the core business, casting. So it's all about rejections, right? Handling the rejections. It's not about increasing the productivity. It's all about handling the rejections. You said like from 30%, right now what is the state? And how you've been trying? We
are at 4% in-house actually. Okay. And 2%.
For audience, you know that 4% in a iron casting is amazing, right? So
because we have 2 different types of material and we have 300 types of product going, and some products we do it only once in a month. So if you have some rejection, then you can only recover it the next month. Oh. So that loss is lost.
Okay. Yes,
so you can't, you don't do the same products day in, day out. We don't do the same products. So, just to say the complexity of the process, you take a sand which is naturally available. And you don't know whether that sand, you get the sand from particular, we don't know from which area is mined that sand.
Exactly.
That sand may contain sulfur also. We may really not know. We can't test everything in the sand. And you get the bentonite clay which is from Rajasthan, and that is also mined. And you get coal dust from all over the world, and you know what coal dust comes. This is also natural occurring product. When you bring all these natural occurring products and mix it, and you suddenly want zero rejection, it is almost impossible to get it. But we streamline it. We make sure that we don't change the suppliers, we don't change the processes, so that even though the new people may come and offer lesser prices, we may not change much, because the rejection cost will be too high. And core, again, if you go to the core, then you have resins, the core, the design, and the metal. Again, you go to the scrap. You can't test each and every piece of scrap. You can only do a sample testing on the entire load. Exactly. Maybe for 10 pieces you can do. But you get 25 tons load. And suddenly we had a problem where the lining started failing. Then we finally traced back to somewhere. We found that inside the bundle there were some aluminum strips. So again, that's a challenge. That is the industry which we are working on. Scrap industry is not well educated, and they'll always try to make quick money.
That sorting is not right.
They try to make quick money, and that is always a challenge. All the industry. So all these difficulties. Okay, maintaining a rejection level is a challenging one, but everything is smooth, like machining industry, where they get a finished product, then they can say ppm. But we can also work on ppm. It's not that we cannot work on ppm, but the thing is that the entire environment has to go up, like the processes, the suppliers has to grow up, and they should align the suppliers. A lot of things has to be in hand to reduce. Not just the foundry alone, I cannot reduce the rejections. Of course, some rejections, some products can be with less rejection because the design is little flexible. And nowadays, the design is becoming more and more complicated. Like whatever they feel that a 3D model, they try to make the casting design, and that is quite a challenge for us to feed the metal, because there are some physical limitation on the metal itself. So that at some point on we have to compromise and then feed it, and we get some rejections. So again, everything rolled down to the cost.
Exactly. So if the product is designed right, then you can get the right product.
Yes.
Right. So coming back to the industries you are serving, sir. So where it started and where you are now?
In the sense,
industries you serve, the kind of whether you are segment agnostic or you are particular about, because I know that market yourself as a company who does European quality castings with Indian price, right?
Yeah, so there is one thing we do, and also we tell ourselves that we are not a foundry, we are a manufacturing company producing castings. We don't call ourselves a foundry at all.
Exactly. So what are the different, where I guess you start with automotive, right? As you said, brakes India.
We started with the brakes India, then Traffic, that is tractor. These are the two of our strongest segments. But the problem with these two segments is there's a very big up and down curve. Like there's a peak, there's a trough, and that is becoming more shorter nowadays. It happens 2 months, and it drops for 2 months, and again it increases for 2 months. Or sometimes even increases for 1 month, drops for 1 month. So that is how the market goes. So it has become a little tough to align with 100% with those companies, because sometimes we are full with orders. Sometimes next month we don't have any orders at all. So that is how the situation goes. But as such, the casting industry now is expanding. Like we are looking at most of the casting now. We are looking at value addition, in the sense like most of the fabrication, steel casting are getting converted into iron castings. So because of the lesser cost involved, complicated welding can be solved simply by a casting. If you have a complicated welding of 5 or 6 pieces together, and you have to check the quality of each and every one, but if you can convert it into a casting, and you get the first approval done, and the integrity is more, the casting soundness is more, and the reliability of that is also more. In that cases, it totally replaces those parts.
Understand. So it also it optimizes the manufacturing processes overall, and it also saves the logistics cost as well. And assembly design for assembly, the end user doesn't need to worry about most of these aspects, right?
Now the suspension brackets, what you see in the tracks actually, which supports the bottom, the axle of the body. Earlier it used to be fabricated generally. Most of it will be fabricated. Almost 70-80% has been converted to a casting, because it has a different butting place and different clamping phase, 2 different angles or different angles, everything happens, and 3 phases there. All these are done by in casting now. And wherever you want strength, we add the ribs, and it's more sturdier, and it's better. This is one classic example where that industry was not that 20 years back. Brakes India started it. Actually, that's an interesting story behind why it started. Actually, Brakes India foundry was short of orders at the time. So they didn't know what to do. At the time, Brakes India were doing brake parts, and suddenly the MD said, okay, this is a casting and fabrication part. Why don't you convert it into a casting part? And that's how they really started that industry.
Oh.
And initially, whoever manufactures those brackets for them, they'll get a gentleman agreement that they will not manufacture to anybody else.
Yes.
Now this has become an industry standard. Because I was doing it for some time, and when Meritor came to me, I said, no, it's not possible, because I give a commitment to Brakes India that I will not do it, And they said, okay, fine. After 3 years, I went to Brakes India. I said, the entire industry has changed. You're still holding on to this thing. Oh, is it? Okay, then you do whoever you want. So that's how they said. So that is a classic case where that new industry suspension brackets was born. Early it was not there. 20 years back it was not there.
Okay. So coming back to that, again, we have spoke about that optimization in the methoding and the part itself. Because converting from a welding or a fabricated part to the casting involves lots of optimization on the design side and as well as on the casting methoding side. So can you shed some light on how Jothi Mallables is addressing those simulations and what kind of R&D facilities you have now?
See, the best simulation software for casting is Magma.
Yes.
That's the best in the world actually. We bought it about 10 years back for 50 lakh rupees. Now it's I think 1.2, 1.3 crores. Actually, that's just the cost of the software.
Is it a standalone one?
The standalone one, they limit user wise, they limit core wise also. If you want the software to operate in 2 cores, you have to pay a separate price. If you want to operate in 6 cores, you have to have a separate price.
Yes.
If you want to operate in 12 cores, there's a separate price. So they're very clear on that. They know how to make money.
Yeah.
So, and if you want a single user interface, if you have 2 users and you can't copy it because they have a separate file, it is the one software which cannot be copied.
Yes.
So
and there will be HPC solvers also, right? High performance solvers. If you increase the solvers, then
no. Only thing we can do is we can increase our speed of the processor to speed up the thing, but we can't increase the number of cores.
Oh.
So that is the only thing.
Okay.
So even now we change the software to the best processor that is available in the market.
Okay.
But we can't. If you even have 12 processor, we can use only one processor for this because the software is restricted to the one processor.
Okay.
You will not operate in 12 processors.
Okay. So is there any additional cost for increasing the processor?
Yes, but in 2 processors, there's a different cost.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. For
HPC, they keep on increasing the cost.
Okay, got it. Sir.
But it doesn't matter much because you only have so much of.
So yes, sir. The HPC. So they determine the cost based on the computing as well, right, sir? Yeah. So yes, sir. Please, can you give some insights on how that Magma is helping you methoding and doing stuff like
Magma, basically any simulation software reduce your manufacturing lead time and cost. So Foundry simulation is becoming more and more a trend nowadays because the castings designs are becoming more complex. So rather than taking it to manufacturing, we now use Magma during quoting itself. So when we receive a product, if we find it's a little difficult, we do a Magma simulation and then we go back to the customer saying that your design has these kind of problems. Why do you want to change the design similar to this? Small changes we'll suggest. And then we have a discussion with the customer. And sometimes the customer will say no, yes, sometimes he may say no. But if he says no, we'll also tell him the difficulty, like if you stick with these designs, there will be some kind of problem here, some internal shrinkage will be happening here, and some problem. What it actually does is, it gives you the customer confidence that these guys know what they are doing.
Yes.
So it's not that making a casting and then going and saying, sorry, we got a shrinkage. Rather than quoting stage itself, you tell them, okay, this is, if you're actually agreeable for this, we'll quote.
Exactly.
Otherwise, we are not interested in this because the design is unfeasible. But we try to do otherwise. See, any design today can be made, but the cost involved is because now we have a lot of new technology like spot feeders where you can feed the area which cannot be fed by a regular section.
Oh, understand. Yes.
So that on that part alone we can feed, but all these things have a cost.
Yes.
So we tell the customer, if you want, we can give you, but at what cost? Say today everything comes to a factor of cost. So if you are willing to give me the cost, I can give you any quality you want. There's no need to change the design or anything because as long as you give me the cost, I'm okay with it. So that way, and also there's now we have a prototyping, which is we have been doing a lot of prototyping for the last 25 years actually, 22 years we have been doing, and we do ABS plastic and also metal prototyping. In some cases we have done also. So that, and also we can do a pattern making in wooden also, but it can be machined on the wooden block. The idea is to, if the customer wants it urgently, we can give a casting in 3 days.
Wow, that's amazing for a casting industry.
Yeah, 3 days we can give it to him, and he can get a touch and feel of the casting. The casting will be 100% as per the bulk production quality only.
Okay.
Only thing, the number of products we can make is limited because of the RPT. Because the RPT is done on the tooling, not on the casting.
Exactly. So, but again, you can use that tool again for the actual casting.
Yeah,
well,
we
right?
can use the same tool and we can duplicate in a resin and use it for 20,000. But for a regular production, it has to be on a MS or a casting place because
Yes.
the wear and tear will be more.
Yeah.
But okay, if you want, say up to 5,000, 10,000 pieces, we can make it. We can duplicate resin and do it.
Coming back to the tooling, sir, whether you do it in-house or how you...
We do both in-house and external. We have a design team.
Okay.
So we do our models in-house actually. All the models are done in-house.
Okay.
And
which tool you use, sir?
we use, we have a lot of designs we use, but they use, I'm not exactly fully familiar with it, but they use the latest one. I don't really...
SolidWorks or...
So, not SolidWorks. SolidWorks is a little restricted.
Okay.
They use, it was, I think, it's a better version of IDS. So I don't know what is the version.
Okay.
The better version of IDS. So it's more user friendly for them. Because a lot of radiuses, other things are required. Multiple radiuses, we have to build the section up. SolidWorks is not so flexible.
I understand. For casting industry.
It's a low-tech design tool, I would say, SolidWorks. It's not a high-tech design tool. And since we have two parting lines, different...
Is it CATIA or Creo?
It's solid. So I think solid edge. We did with solid NX. I think it's NX. Yes.
Siemens. Okay.
NX is actually they built around IDS.
I understand. Yeah.
The older version was IDS, and now we have shifted over to NX.
Okay. Okay, so got it. So the tooling is done in-house, and
we give them. We give the entire tooling design to them. So either we do it in-house or we give to the manufacturer. But there's no what do you call it? He doesn't decide anything. Everything has to be done as per the model.
Okay.
He has to machine as per the model and give it, so that it doesn't matter whether we do it in-house or external.
Okay.
But the long-term goal is to make it in-house fully.
Okay.
That's the idea.
Okay. So coming back to the finished product on casting. So because yes, you say that it requires European aesthetics, right? So how you cater that, sir? Any post-processing techniques you
see? Basically, in India, the finish of the casting is attributed to a major part to the raw material or to the sand and everything. The sand which we get in Europe or the coal, the bentonite, everything. The coal, of course, it's not in India. We import it, so it doesn't matter. Coal-wise, we are okay with the world. Whereas the bentonite, the clay, and the sand, the quality in Europe is a totally different level compared to India. So we can't use the Indian sand and coal bentonite to get that kind of finish. But we can do some juggleries where we can use a little bit of our bentonite, little bit of imported bentonite. The sand, of course, sand can be processed. It can be processed, and we can try to bring it to that level. And with all these juggleries, I think we'll be able to make it to 95%, 90-95% of the European finish.
That's great. That's great. So coming back again on the global economy. Okay, so there is pre-COVID and post-COVID era, right? So again, see, all the castings, most of the castings has been outsourced to low-cost countries like India, China, Vietnam, or Indonesia, or per se. So how you take on this? Is there any leverage right now for India as a China plus one? And how you see as a manufacturer with respect to these castings?
China plus one today, more than Europe, US is a good market now as such for the castings. Because China plus one is more relevant in US today compared to Europe. Europe still has not shifted fully to India from China, because China inherently has a lot of advantages.
Understand.
They are the biggest casting manufacturer in the world. If you go any field they go, they are the biggest. And it is not just the companies alone. The state also plays a very big role on how to support that industry.
So the government itself.
The government itself plays a big role. So they give a lot of push for that. So it's difficult for us as a company to compete against the country. But having said and done that, China also has different foundries, from a low cost, low quality foundry to a very high quality foundry. And when you go to the very high quality cast foundry, the cost difference only 10%, nothing much, for a similar casting which we can give. So if we can do a little bit of, the customer can step up a little bit and we can step down a little bit, I think we can compete.
Okay. So is there any value added offerings China is providing ahead on us on that aspect, or how you see?
They are fast.
Okay, they are fast. Okay.
That's why we are also pushing to be faster.
Okay.
See, one thing is 3 days delivery of samples, and a regular production, we are now at 10 to 12 hours from the time the pattern or the die is mounted on the machine, the time the casting is shipped. Normally, if you put it in a perspective, about 10 years back, it used to be 8 to 9 days. For our company itself, it will take around 8 days to casting to be shipped from the time it is manufactured. Today, we are at 12 hours. By year end, we should be at 4 hours. And the 4 hours is the standard in the world. Nobody has reduced less than 4 hours, because that process requires 4 hours. So there's not much of waiting time. See, most of the time it's only the waiting time in the foundry which is creating this time lag actually. And if we are able to define a system called Jothi manufacturing system, where we make sure that the casting is not like we are working on a TPM, so no castings on the floor. The casting if it touches, it will touch only at the customer end. That's on the floor.
Okay.
So it never touches the floor in our foundry. So the idea is to make it to 4 hours, so that I saw it in Italy. So when I saw it in Italy, I said nothing much is there. Why we can't do it? So that's why I came. At the time we were 3 days. When I came to go, I told the guys we had 3 days. I wanted 4 hours. They were looking at me like this. Why 4 hours? How it's possible? Then I told them a simple calculation. I told them, how much time does it take for a pattern to be molded? They said it takes 20 seconds, 25 seconds for a mold to be made, sir. Right, okay. How much time does it take the mold to be filled up? Again, they said, okay, so 30 seconds to 1 minute maximum it gets poured. They're fine. And how much time does it for the casting to be shaked out into the from the sand to be removed and the casting to be dumped to the bin? Say another 2 minutes, sir, to be dumped. Okay. And first stage char blasting, so another 6-7 minutes, sir. Right, okay. And you do the fettling and finishing, chipping, everything. It's another again 5-10 minutes, sir. Okay. And the second sharp blasting requires another 10 minutes, sir. So all this put together comes to only 1 hour. I'm giving you 4 hours. And they were looking at me like that. I told them, say, it's not so simple. But the thing is the waiting period. So we have to define a system so that the waiting period comes down. Now obviously there's one hidden point where the casting has to be cooled. Today 8 to 10 hours is because of the casting cooling only. There's a problem which we are having. Because the casting has to be cooled from 1600 degrees to a room temperature.
Exactly.
So that takes a little bit of time. So since we are putting it on a bin and then cooling it takes a little time. So we are designing a new casting cooling system where the casting is hanged to conveyor and it's rotated throughout the foundry on the first floor level. And we have wind banks different places to cool it. So in 1 hour it gets cooled and comes to a room temperature. Okay. So then after that, for me, the processing time is we remove one of the locations and make it 2 locations. So another 1 hour of processing. So we should be finished in 3 hours. So 4 hours is a luxury.
Okay. So I guess you are following complete lean management in your company, from 5 years to Kaizen to value stream mapping. Everything comes under what have been said so far, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I am a very big fan of Kaizen and continuous improvement.
Oh, that's great, sir. Because without that, we cannot achieve this kind of, and we cannot run the company for almost 53 years. Okay. So coming back to your personal journey, sir. So you started in Campion, then PhD Tech and BIM. So it's everything is kind of top tier, right? So how you are leveraging those connections right now? Is it helpful?
It's quite helpful in the sense like PhD, it gave me a sound fundamentals. I did not have much of networking in that because most of the guys are not in India. so they were more into IT side. Yes. I don't have much of leverage on that. But BIM, yes, I could get some leverage. I have some dealings with some of my friends, but it gives me kind of networking. But when we go on outside and talk, and when we say that we are from PhD or from BIM, and somebody is always there in the Indian group, and somebody is always there in any group you go from PhD or BIM. So we get an instant connect and we get a kind of linkage. Even last time when we had Bangalore, I was talking then, as I found out that he was my senior. So I joined and he has left earlier before. So we had a talk and he said, okay, I have one guy in nearby place who's doing for a petroleum industry. Why don't you, I'll connect you with them. Why don't you do business with them? So that is how it works actually.
Even we are connected by one of the connections, common connections, right?
It helps actually, networking helps, but more, rather than that, more it is, I had a lot of networking with CII.
Okay.
So actually I was totally, for me coming to CII was a kind of accident, like they selected somebody to be the vice chairman and 2 or 3 people refused, and then they wouldn't find money. I got a call saying that you have to be the vice chairman. I said, I don't even come to CII, why the hell do you want to be a vice chairman? No, if you have to do it, you'll be doing it successfully. Then I thought, okay, it's high point of time where I'm sitting in Trichy, I don't have that kind of networking. Let us explore CII. That's what I thought. And it was quite useful. Last 2 years journey was been commendable. Like had a lot of networking opportunities. Could meet a lot of people where I couldn't meet them on a regular basis.
Exactly.
Now I can take a phone call and talk to them, and that is the kind of networking I have. And also I got 2 or 3 business connections with the CII also. Even yesterday also I got a connection with some of the pump manufacturer wants to do business with us, so it came through CII saying that are you interested. So CII is a good networking opportunity.
So that's why that was supposed to be my next question actually. So how, see, it's doing business is entirely a different journey, and this social entrepreneurship, because getting into CII you have to spend a lot of time, everything, efforts, because so how you kind of balance, because you are right now out for I guess only 3 days back you came out of that. So how you kind of manage that, sir?
No, it's easy for me to manage. I don't believe in meetings actually.
Okay.
I don't have a daily meeting.
Okay.
So I feel meeting is as a waste of time. If I want a problem, I'll call the person and I'll talk to him, finished it. And most of it's in WhatsApp, all the reports are there in WhatsApp. And I don't review the daily production related data. I look at only the improvements, cases, suggestions.
More of strategical and tactical.
Strategical and tactical only I look at it. So as such, I don't get any calls from my customers. So as such, I'm a little freer only compared to. It's only I have to schedule my day rather than the problem scheduling my day. It is me scheduling my day. So it's easy. I can decide what I want to do today, and almost 90% I'll do what I want.
That's great to know, because most of the common entrepreneurs' problem is that because they get into the daily operations, then they'll fed up.
See, there's a penny wise pound foolish. That's that proverb is, if you go into nitty-gritties, yes, you can save some pennies, but the pound will be lost.
Yes, exactly.
That is one thing I learned. Okay, that's different from my father. My father will say that, okay, sign every purchase order more than 500 rupees. I will say, yes, dad. And then I will not even check at 1 crore order also. I make sure the system is so that it gets automatically uploaded.
Because
okay, once or twice you may miss. But that doesn't mean what you're doing is wrong.
Yes.
If you miss it, then you make more systems to see that it doesn't lapse.
Make sure that you don't do that mistakes again.
So make a system and that see that also gets captured into the system.
So again, stressing on the same point again, you did your masters from BIM, right? And you are into entrepreneurship directly. So is it directly linked to that? Is it somewhere that is it helping you out?
Yeah, it helps because since before going itself, BIM itself, I have decided I am going to come to the company. So I was not a traditional marketing guy or a finance guy in BIM.
So what was your
major? I picked and chose the subjects whatever I wanted.
So what was your major, sir, if you don't?
No, I was a general manager. I was never into marketing. I used to take industrial marketing. I used to take finance. I used to take HR. I used to take production management. So it was more, I will take the look at the trimester syllabus and find out which is more related to me. And if the finance is related to the financial institutions, I will skip that elective. I will not go to the elective. So it was actually, in fact, even my daughter, I was talking to her. There was a course of entrepreneurship. I told her take entrepreneurship. She was looking at forecasting and entrepreneurship. Forecasting can be outsourced. Doesn't matter.
Yes.
But entrepreneurship doesn't come. So take entrepreneurship. So that advantage is there. Since you know what you're going to do, you can plan it accordingly.
So again, coming back to the entrepreneurship. Okay. So there are lots of lessons learned from your dad's age of 30 years. Then you took it almost 25 years, right now. The 99 to 2025, it's almost 26 years. So what was the lessons learned, and is there any kind of a bigger problem you have solved and you made it out? How you came out of that?
Of course. There are a huge number of problems.
Any kind of one big kind of a story where it helps our next gen entrepreneurs to come out of that?
Yeah, getting a control on the finance is the fundamental actually. Even though you have professionals, having a feel on the finance always helps. Initially when this happened during my dad's period, where there was a transition period, we had some guy, and he was giving checks. He didn't cheat or something. He was giving checks left, right, and center. He didn't have any control on how much checks he has given or something. So whenever there's a pressure, he used to give a check. So that it used to happen. And then one point it became, the problem became bigger and bigger. It blowed up at one point of time. Then, of course, when he questioned me, he left. Then for 15 days, we didn't give any check because we waited all the checks to land. We didn't have any system at that time to know what checks has been landed, what check has given, what check he has thrown away. So it was more like a mess actually. So then at point of time, I took charge of it. So today, with my system, I can find out how many bills each is pending on what payment I made last month, what I paid. That kind of system. In fact, I found that all my finance guys, they used to spend almost 3 or 4 hours a day planning for the funds. I spend weekly 15 minutes. That's it.
So
I told the guys, we'll make only payment only once in a day, once in a week, and collect everything. I will not make any payment on any other day. Come what may, you give a commitment to the supplier, and if there's any crisis, if there's some fund shortage, I give it to the purchase guy. Tell him, this is the amount I'll give you. You select the suppliers at that point of time.
That's their job, right?
That's their job. Because the fund is more, I'll give as per the due date. But if there's a crisis or if the fund is not enough, I tell them, you're going to commit, you're going to buy. So who you commit, I don't know. So better I'll give you the amount. Based on that, you split it up and make the payment. That way, even there was a crisis, they were able to manage. So giving some authority to the lower level, responsibility authority, and having control on the funds is the best actually.
So, and coming back to the manufacturing, where we don't have much of a leverage on gross or net profits, right? Because we work on meager thin line profit. So we have to have very good control over the finance.
And also the major raw material suppliers, you need to have a control. Even we buy from a lot of material, but 2 or 3 major raw material suppliers, I fix the prices. So and all the rest comes to only 30%. But even though we fix the price for 2 or 3 major suppliers, we spend hardly 1 hour a month. It is worth the time.
Yes.
It is worth the time.
So for you, what would be your information system looks like, financial MIS? So what you look like? What are the major numbers you're looking at?
We look at actually what I do is I do a P&L every day. Every day. Okay. By 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock I get a P&L as to till this date what is my profit, and if the projections goes on to the month end, what will be my profit at the end of this month.
Okay.
So we are almost 96% accurate on that.
Okay. Month on month.
Month on month, yes. Month on month. Every day we get that P&L. So I believe only that only. I don't want to say anything else.
Okay, that's more than enough. If we have that daily, then it proportionates to the weekly, monthly, and yearly. Right?
Yeah. Now we have projected based on this. What is the tonnage for the month we are planning? That they'll discuss with the team, and based on the month, we also arrive at the cost, extrapolate the cost, and the finance team does it actually, and they give me that P&L, and almost it's accurate.
Okay.
Before the month end, and also by 1st of April, we'll have the balance sheet ready.
Okay. So again, on the HR side, so coming back to KRA and KPIs, you said for the team, and we are in tier 2, and there are 2 questions interlinked. So how you said that, so year on year, and how difficult it is to hire a good talent from tier 2, or is it blessed in disguise, or how it is?
See, KRA KPI, it has to come from the responsibilities. During COVID, what we did was, when the 40 days there was a stoppage, we had a con call every day, and we connected all the workers, and we listed the list of responsibilities and authorities for each worker.
Oh.
We have gone to that level of what is the responsibility of each. So that we percolated to the supervisor level. From supervisor level, we are taken to the manager level. So we have now a set of
bottom up.
Okay. We have a set of responsibility each level, and based on that, we have arrived some KRS and KPIs, and the KRS KPI are being monitored on a monthly basis, a weekly basis by the lower level team.
Oh, okay.
So they monitor it based on that. So I monitor since I monitor only and also I have a total review at the end of the month, the beginning of the month, we have total review where we get we have 70% directly under me, and all these 7 people come and present their KPIs.
Okay.
But their KPIs inclusive of all the subordinates KPIs.
Understand.
So that's how we monitor it. And regarding talent, I don't hire in between.
Okay.
I hire only the basic people from colleges actually.
Okay.
And they stay with me, and they grow with me.
So you don't hire experienced one?
I don't hire
Okay,
experience.
you get it from which colleges you prefer?
Doesn't matter. See, we don't have we are at the bottom level, so we don't have the pecking tendency. But whoever comes and we are okay with them, and we are okay with that interview, we actually give training for stipulation for 1 year, and whoever is good for that, we extend the training for 2 years, and then if they are okay with that, we take them into roles.
Oh. Okay.
So we really know the guy whether he's capable or not. If it's okay, we fix up the date when he joins. We tell, okay, this year, this date you are going to leave our company. So that's how we take them. But we give them all the facilities like SAP, if everything is given. But he's a trainee.
Okay, that's good to understand, sir. So that's a good strategy as well, I guess, because they stick to the company for long. So how it works with attrition, sir? So
hardly anything.
Oh. That's
hardly anything.
Okay.
Maybe trainees go, but my permanent employees, maybe once in a year, 1 or 2 people.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
So what is your strength, sir, bench strength now?
We are at around, here permanent strength is around 240 in company, another is around 180. We reduced it, of course. We were earlier too much actually. We reduced it, but we gave them a lot of incentive to quit actually. But we didn't go kind of VRS scheme where we didn't give it a kind of VRS where the top guys leave it. We filtered out and we told them, you are the guys who are eligible for VRS, where the guys were less of, and we made sure the supervisor picked the best guys and we retained them in the company.
Okay.
So we filtered a kind of sieve, and then we gave them a good package, compensation package, and they willingly signed and they left actually.
Oh.
In fact, I gave them, including the PFESA, I think we gave them 4 months salary.
Oh, okay. Because
and also I made sure that I also talked to my friends, company who were interested, they could go and join the company. I also recommended to a lot of companies, but they didn't want to leave Trichy, but we gave them an alternative offer of job also.
Okay. So, and again, a casting company in Trichy, which is very rare, coming to India. See, you are in 𝗏𝗺𝗃 because I know you since 8 years once I started looking for opportunities in Trichy as well. Because I was only looking at, okay, Jothi Mallables is the only casting company which is into like like an SME. So is it like, is there any peers for you here itself, or how you take it?
We don't have much peers here. It's again a bane and a boon. Like bane means because you don't have a competition with the man labor, because nobody comes and takes people. But again, everything has to be done by us.
Yes.
We don't have ready-made skills coming in and telling us. Of course, if Coimbatore, we have people coming in, they bring the good things and the bad things from other companies.
Yes.
So both comes actually. I feel this is better off staying around where and we go and visit a lot of companies and we learn from them, then try to come and apply it and change it and apply it.
Okay, sir. Okay, got it. So the first time I guess I visited your factory, I don't know whether you know that, 2 years back. Okay. So I found there is a meditation area in your factory, which is I've never seen in my entire career or anywhere, and you have a prayer room and you have a temple as well inside. So what was the thought process behind that? So I guess it was that initial Jothi. Is it something
not like that. Actually, my father built a temple in another company. I was always thinking of building a temple because everyone said, sir, if you go there, we pray and then go into the plant. And if you have a temple, we'll come and pray and then go inside. So that was a thought process. Suddenly, it happened. In 48 days, I thought about it. In 48 days, temple was ready, which was something amazing. I'm more proud of it rather than building a factory. 48 days, it came in fruition. But meditation, all everything, it came from, I attended a lot of programs where I found that meditation was better, and of course we have a lot of people from interfaith. We have people, Muslim people, we have Hindu people, everything, and sometimes in Ramzan they want to pray, so they use that room. And also if you want to have meditation, you can go and use that room. So
meditation is more of a common belief.
Yeah, we have people, we are experts sometimes coming and teaching us about meditation, and if they want, they can go and attend that class.
So is it the one which you introduced or your dad's?
No, I introduced.
Oh, okay, that's great.
I introduced.
So have you seen it somewhere or influenced or it's your?
No, I thought, why not do it?
Okay.
Why not do it? Why should not be?
Okay. So we got it covered everything almost, I guess. So what is currently Jothi Mallables and what is the future is all about, sir?
See, we are at present around, as a group, we are around 280 to 270 to 300 crores turnover.
Okay.
We have ambitious plan to grow to 2,000 crores by 2035. It's a growth rate of 16%, but we feel it is possible.
Yes.
It is possible, quite possible. Only thing we have to be a little focused on that. But we have taken a call that, okay, we will not produce all the 2,000 crores. At that point, at one point in time, we'll start doing a lot of outsourcing also. Subcontracting also. We'll develop a team for it.
So you want to be tier 1 and as well as tier 2 as
well? Yes. Because we are doing some castings to some of the other foundries. Yes. Today itself. So we thought, when you are doing to other foundries, why can't you use other foundries to produce casting for us also? That was a thought process. Find a good partner and then work on that. So that is the idea going forward. So we should be able to, because we have a program where we have a Born to Win program from 𝗙𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗵, where we spend around 25,000 for each employee for training for 6 weeks actually.
Wow.
So we have already trained more than 140, 150 people actually. The idea is to train everyone in the organization. How to bring the best productivity for his life. It's not just the company.
Okay.
How he should be in his home and how he should react in his home. What are the things he should do for his home? What are the things he should do for his company? So it's more like developing the individual to his best potential.
Yeah, I agree 100% because if he is better at home, then his productivity would be...
Focus is more on better home.
Yeah.
So most of the feedback sessions I go and most of the things they say, my family wanted to thank you, sir. I've always been angry. So today when I laugh, I smile and go to my house, my children are saying that something is wrong with daddy, is like smiling. So a lot of things has happened.
So at the end of the day, business is all about people and we make them grow, then we also grow, right?
And we could see the results in the factory.
Yes.
We could see the results in the factory. That is the best training program, I would say. Train the person and automatically he'll be more loyal to the organization. In fact, I want to, in the 25th anniversary, told him, see, giving a training program, we made sure that the loyalty of the family is towards the company rather than the individual. Even the guy wants to leave the company, the family will not leave him to leave the company.
Yes, most of the things are from peers and families most of the time.
And we make sure that we also push them to go home. A little early. So when we, even my VP, when he's sitting in the office, I'll come and shout at him, why the hell you are at 8 o'clock? Better leave home, go home. Yeah. And we have to push them back.
Okay. So we are almost closing the closing stage. So final thing is, how about the CSR you are doing currently? So what are the CSR activities you've been, because a company who is been there for 53 years, there will be lots of CSR, because the company which is existent for 53 years itself is a CSR, right? You are serving the society for almost I guess close to 10,000 to 20,000 families almost, right? So how what are the things you are currently doing, sir?
See, I'm more of a naturalist actually. Okay. Even though I'm a foundry, I like to plant trees. So in village I pray pannirken, but in our estate I asked my people to plant 10,000 trees. Oh. So now they are on the job. I think we already completed 1,000, I think.
Overall 10,000.
Overall 10,000, because we don't have space inside our plant, but on the roads everywhere, estate fully, we want to plant 10,000 and we will take care of the trees till it comes to a particular point.
Okay.
So we put them fences on it and we water it every day. So it comes to a particular point of time where it is grown up to a point of time, 1 year, 1.5 years grown up, then we'll stop it. Of course, it will grow by itself. That's one of my goal actually. But of course, a lot of CSR happens. We help the schools, local schools, everything, and we help a lot of temples.
Well, you have a CSR team?
No, we don't have a CSR team. Okay. As and when it comes, we do it actually. It's not specifically, depends on the need.
Okay, got it.
And a lot of temples, they come and ask a lot of help, so that we also do. Schools we do, and we do. In fact, every day we give meals for either the old age people or orphan children. Every day afternoon, any one orphanage we give food actually. Wow. Okay. So all the 7 days a week we do it. All the 365 days we do it actually.
Oh, that's great.
So we spend our money on that because either small children or the old age people.
So is it kind of a process? Is there any process?
We go and select the orphanage, which is we don't look at the orphanage which are in the main areas. We look at offbeat areas where nobody helps them. And if they want some shed or something, we make and give it to them. We take care of those things so that this orphanage, every Monday afternoon we give food here. So Tuesday afternoon we give to another orphanage.
Okay, you have a plan.
And we have a plan for that, and we work it. And once in a year we go and ask them what are the things they need other than the food. And sometimes they say, we need a fridge, we need a water cooler, we need this, we need that. So we buy that and we give that also. That is, my wife is in charge for those kind of activities.
Okay.
And as such, I think it's more like a very simple CSR, not very high fund CSR.
But it's all about reaching the right person is the right thing at the right time. Right. Okay. Finally, we are coming to the conclusion. So you've been in the business for 26 years, right? So what are some key takeaways for the next gen entrepreneurs or those who are looking into manufacturing, or what may entrepreneurship, or someone like me?
The thing is, always there will be problems. If there is no problem, then you're not doing something right.
Yes.
If you do something right, there will be problems. And through problems, you'll grow.
Yes.
So the more problems you have, the more you'll grow. And always keep in mind that today's problems are today's problems.
Okay.
You sleep on the problems, next day is a fresh day. It's a number of possibilities are there. So when you go to sleep, sleep with the problems, don't wake up with the problems. Next day is a fresh day, look at the total perspective. If you don't have any solutions, have a simple policy like if there's a problem, you analyze whether you have a solution or not. If you have a solution, work on the solution. If there's no solution, think whether you can solve the problem or not. If you can solve the problem, work on it and solve the problem. If you're not able to solve the problem, leave it.
Yes.
It's not something. If the flight is getting delayed, what I can do?
So control.
If you say flight is delayed, you get tensed up. Oh, flight is delayed. What to do? Okay, shall we read a book, or should you do it, or something? Then it becomes more constructive.
Yes.
Some things are not in your hands. Yes. Accept it.
Control the controllables.
Yes. Don't fret over whatever is not in your control. And mind will automatically find an alternative solution, and you'll be more happier.
Okay. So out of this, there is one more thing added, which we can conclude. So how you make sure that you is there anything like work-life balance, or is it?
Of course, I don't work on a Sunday.
Okay.
I don't work on a Sunday.
Okay.
Night I don't work. I'll come. Okay, I work a little later because I like to work. I come at 8, 9 o'clock. After that, I don't pick up much calls in the and in the morning after going to work, only I start working. Of course, Sunday till now 26 years I have not worked on a Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So that is for myself, for my family time. Now, of course, keeping your friends is important. So once in a while I go with my friends. Of course, family is important. Friends is also, your personal health is also very important. Yes. So that also we do. I take a break and then go with the family, go with your friends, and don't overwork yourself. Yes. Work will always be there. Even work 24 hours a day, work will be there.
Don't be sufficient. Yes.
Don't be sufficient. You have to know when to stop and how to delegate. Yes. That is most people miss it actually. You should know how to delegate and what control you should give to the person.
Exactly.
It's not just delegation alone, you have to give him some kind of authority, and you should also prescribe the limits of his authority.
I understand.
You can tell him, you are a king, but this is your boundary.
Yes.
Within this thing, you can play whatever you want. Don't overstep your boundary.
Okay.
If you can make it very clear to your subordinates, and you're able to give them free hand to perform, and your life will be more peaceful.
That's great, sir. So hope the audience might get lots of insights, even including me. Thanks a lot for your time, and thanks a lot for the insights you've given. And credits to all the employees and all the stakeholders of Jothi Mallables. And yes, thanks. Thank you, Raj.
So thank you.